Valley News Live and Gate City Bank present the Bison Football Show with head coach Chris Kleiman.
First off, congratulations to North Dakota State University on another phenomenal season and really a special run. I don't know if you'll ever see a run like that again at the FCS or FBS level. So it's a credit to them, to the coaches, to their players, and to everybody here at North Dakota State on a great year and a great run.
Nice comments by their coach, and we welcome to the set head coach Chris Kleiman. It is a weird feeling. The Bison will not be going to Frisco this year, but what a great season by your guys, a great run as well by this Bison team over the last 5 years. And James Madison came in here, and they're a very, very good team. Don't want to take anything away from them. They were outstanding, weren't they?
Yeah, they really were. And we were a 12-2 football team that had an exceptional season. Our seniors were great leaders and great mentors to some of the younger players. But James Madison came in and earned the victory, and that's something that is easy for us to say, 2 days removed, and you look back, and they have a really good football team that is going to be tough to beat.
And we want to thank the fans as well, not only for this game but the year, but the fans during the playoffs were fantastic again this year, weren't they?
They were dynamite, and we wouldn't be where we're at without that great support we have from the fans. And that was once again an unbelievably loud environment. I know that Coach Houston afterwards said, "You told me it was going to be loud." I didn't realize it was going to be that loud. The number of false starts, when we got it tied at 17-17 and Robbie got the pick, that was as loud as I'd ever heard it. And it was a special time, and our fans, hats off to our fans. They were great all year.
Get the ball to start the second half, so you're feeling good going in at halftime. JMU got a lot of yards early, 301. That started to slow down later in the second there. Rushing yards were 138. Abdullah had a fantastic first half. Before we break down the second half on the Gate City Bank hot seat, King Frazier. All right, King, as a child, who was your favorite cartoon character?
Probably Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Definitely a night owl. Definitely.
What is your favorite pro team?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. If you could visit any place in the world, what would it be?
Probably France.
That's a good one. What is the worst household chore?
Doing the dishes, for sure.
What's a weird habit you can't shake?
I bite the side of my cheek a lot.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay. What impresses you most about this Bison coaching staff?
The accountability. They're always accountable for everything. I can call them whenever I want to, and they'll be there for me. So
that's great. One thing people don't know about you, what would that be?
I was a #2 fighter in judo.
Oh, how about that? All right, thanks, King.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, at halftime, it's 17-7. You get the ball coming out because you won the toss. Feeling pretty good right now at this point.
Well, we have to eliminate the explosive plays. They were killing us with explosive plays on defense, and we did a nice job of that with the exception of two plays in the second half, which obviously can't happen. And then offensively, we just needed to stay on the field. We felt if we could stay on the field, we could have some momentum and have some drives.
The final score, 27-17. James Madison comes in, advances to Frisco. The Bison defense did a good job in the second half. We remember in the first half, they were already at 301. They only ended up with 443, tightened things up real nice, got some offense going a little bit there as well. The Bison offense rushed for 132. They rushed for 201, many of those in the first half, though. But in the end, they win the game. Let's hear what some of the seniors had to say as they reflected on what had happened in the last 5+ years.
It was a good game, good physical game. They just made more plays than we did.
Yeah, it's a game of momentum. You got to make plays, and like these guys said, JMU, they made some plays. They're a great team, and we wish we could have got a couple of those plays back, but that's how it goes sometimes. I'm proud of this team and thankful for this opportunity. It's been a true blessing, and we're hurting right now, obviously, but we're gonna learn a lot from this, and we know our boys in the locker room. Wish we could join them next year, but they're gonna come out ready to play next year.
It's been a whirlwind. From everything from plans this morning to graduation to the game and everything like that. But it's been great. I wouldn't have had it any other way, I guess. A couple of things go different here or there, but battling with my brothers on a Saturday there's nothing better than that. And Friday nights, Saturday, any day.
Being a Bison is so close to my heart, and it means so much to me. And I wish I could go out there for another game. I wish we could restart that one, but that's how it goes. And just thankful for all Bison Nation.
It was a lifelong dream to be a Bison and to represent the state. That means so much dearly to me.
Well, some great players there, and we'll remember all those guys, and they played some great moments for the Bison. Well, the crowd was great for the semifinals, as loud as ever, but James Madison, to their credit, was ready for it. In fact, they said after the game, all the way back in fall camp, they wanted to give Fargo a whirl this year.
You hear about the noise, you hear about the camaraderie, you hear about the fans, but until you step into this dome, you have no idea what anybody's talking about. And everything that everyone said about this place is completely true. It's a special place for college football, and to come in here and get a win is huge for us.
These guys blocked so well out there today. I feel like anybody could have ran through the holes that they made. So, that's a big credit to those guys.
I mean, I knew that if they came out in a too high shell, that Khalid Abdullah was going to have a day. And that's something I told him. I said, listen, if they stay in too high like this, you need to go out and make yourself present. And that's something he did. It's something he's done all year. And, we're lucky to have him on our team.
We've got a team that's willing to face anyone, and we're going to face any team that you line up in front of us with the same mentality. We're going to go out there and take it to you and win this game.
Over the summer, just working out and stuff, I looked to some of our players and I said, I want to play in Fargo. I want to play at home in the playoffs. That'd be great, but I want to go to Fargo, North Dakota, and I want to play North Dakota State. And we were lucky enough to get that opportunity. And thanks to our teammates and our coaches and everybody that got us here. And we're very proud of what we just did.
That Brian Shore was a good quarterback. Well, our Nodak Mutual Insurance player of the game, senior MJ Stump.
I mean, anybody on the team obviously has a lot of pride, no matter where they're from, or to represent the team in the program. But being from the local area, I think means a little bit more to me and the rest of these guys. And I think obviously it speaks a lot about us three being up here. Just there's a lot of cohesion and tight knit group about all of us, and especially the guys around the area. I love these guys, and just didn't go our way, and that's about it.
Boy, MJ had a great career, didn't he?
Boy, he did. Did an unbelievable job this year. Was when we lost DeLuca, he stepped up and became really the leader on defense, and capped it off with an unbelievable senior season. I take all those seniors. What great players they were. Yeah. What great leaders they were. I'm not where I'm at without those guys, and I'm forever indebted to those guys.
Well, let's start to look ahead a little bit. Some people forget that we didn't have Nate Tangway and Nick DeLuca, elite players on defense. They're obviously back. How's their rehab gone, and how do you expect them to be as we move into spring ball?
Well, Nate's surgery went really well for his knee, but he won't probably be cleared until, I would think, May or June, right. But he'll be able to have a full summer. Nick's starting to run and do some things in the weight room. He won't be in spring ball, maybe a little bit of individual here and there, some 7-on-7, but he's on track to have a typical normal summer to be back for his senior year.
All right, the offensive line now, and a lot of questions about who's going to replace who, because there were some really good seniors up front. Zach Johnson, Big Zach, Jack Plankers, Landon Leckler from Beach. All those guys are gone. Coonert and Connor are back. But what do you see as the rotation and moving ahead? There's a lot of young talent. This is a position where there is some depth.
Yeah, there really is. Those three seniors were phenomenal. 2 first-team All-Americans in Landon and Zach, and then obviously Big Jack had a great career here. But, Coonert, excited to have him back, and CC, and then, I think Tanner Volson will be into the mix. I know Cordell Volson will be in the mix. Dylan Radens will be in the mix. Christian Triplett. The list goes on and on. We have a lot of good players. Luke Bacon should be in the mix.
Yep.
But we'll have some great competition here this spring, because we really were excited about the freshman class we brought in.
Well, some of the skill guys that were redshirting this year, too, most notably Sean Engel. How can he make an impact next year, too? And what kind of redshirt year did he end up having?
He had a really good redshirt year, just that size as a wide receiver. I think that's sometimes can be a difference maker. We see it against a lot of teams that we play against, that if you have a 6'4" guy like Sean is, to be able to go up and high point the ball against an undersized defensive back. And so be great competition for guys like Sean and all of our wide receivers this spring.
Yeah, Shep and Erzendowski are back, but that 6'5" height, that's just something that you can't teach, and we really haven't had a guy that tall.
No, we really haven't, and so it'll be a great matchup for a lot of our corners. It'll really help guys like Jalen Allison and Jalen Wimbush preparing when you play those big guys. So we're we're excited about spring.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of recruiting to do to get to that point.
Yeah, we want to look ahead, but we also want to take a breath, too. I got you there. The bracket now, so who's in Frisco? It's a Valley team. Youngstown State did end up beating Eastern Washington, so the Valley still does have representation in Frisco this year. What do you make of them beating Eastern Washington?
Well, it just goes, I mean, Bo Baldwin, I've become friends with Bo. It just shows you how hard it is to get to the championship. They won it in 2010, have had really good teams, and they can't get over that semifinal hump at home. And I have great respect for those guys, and it's just hard to do. And Youngstown went out to their place in a tough weather game, and Youngstown's got really good players. They're a resilient group. They were down some players, but Coach Pelini, I've had a chance to visit with him. Great respect for him. Yep. Those guys are going to run through the wall for Bo, and they did yesterday. And I think it'll be a heck of a football game because Youngstown will be ready to play. It will be a really good physical matchup inside.
Yeah, Pelini will scheme them up for sure, no doubt, with his defense, which has 9 seniors on it, so that'll be interesting. We're going to continue to reflect on what has been for the Bison, 5 consecutive national titles. We'll bring back some of the guys who played in those games and reflect some more and look back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Well, it is time to reflect on what we have witnessed, folks. 2,198 days between playoff losses, 5 national titles in a row, an 83-7 record, and the Bison will be back next year battling to start a new streak, but these last 5+ years need some reflection. It's legendary stuff. Alex Egan wraps it all together in this week's Olaf Anderson Construction feature story.
I really think that was the best team I've seen in quite some time, maybe in my 10 years of being an FCS head football coach.
Over the course of the last 6 years, we've seen a number of opposing teams echo that same sentiment after coming into the Fargo Dome and walking out watching the Bison celebrate. The historic run has brought more than just trophies to the trophy case at the facility. It's also brought about recognition in the region and nationally, like in Nebraska, where former Bison safety Christian Dudzik grew up. Before the Bison recruited him, he had no clue what North Dakota State was.
Well, now down there in Omaha, Nebraska, everybody knows who North Dakota State is. Before they walk into homes, they know Kyle Emanuel played there. They know I played there, Garrett Brune, and now Easton Stick, Erzendowski.
It goes internationally, too, as current Canadian Football League player and Wapaton, North Dakota native Ryan Smith explains, in the locker rooms in the CFL, people know about the Bison.
Every time I introduce myself, ask them where they went to college, ask me where I went to college. I went to North Dakota State. They're like, oh, that's that team that's won 5 straight national championships or something. I'm like, yeah, you're dang right.
Since 2011, the Bison collected more wins than any other Division I football program with 83. That's 8 more than Alabama and 15 more than the next closest FCS team in Sam Houston State. That's an entire season's worth, and the wins brought about the exposure from the national media because they, too, wanted to witness what all of us in the state of North Dakota had been seeing, a dominating run.
Out of high school, you told me that the school I'm going to, 1AA at the time, is going to have college game day, come to it twice. Wouldn't believe you. Win the national championship 4 times. Yeah, right. Get out of here.
There's a lot to be proud of with the NDSU football team, from the wins on the field to the success in the classroom and going about winning the right way. It stems from Bison pride, which is hard to define.
When I was a freshman, I said Bison pride is the attitude that you'll face anybody and you have the belief that you'll beat them. For me, I still believe that, but more importantly, now that I've left the program and I have an outside perspective of it, it's more about the brotherhood and the family that you have.
Just to be part of something so amazing, you really have to kind of take a step back and just realize what is actually going on with the 5 national championships.
For the Bison Football Show, I'm Alex Egan.
You think 5 in a row will ever happen again? That's crazy stuff.
No, I really don't think it will. And as I told those seniors in the locker room, you're not defined by a moment, but by your body of work over a period of time. And that collectively is the best body of work in college football history. And we all need to be aware of that and understand that it probably won't happen again. Look how hard it is to get back to you know, whether you're Eastern Washington or Sam Houston or Illinois State, it's just hard to do what we've done for the last 5 years.
No doubt about it. Well, we look ahead to a bright future again in our last Peterson Farm Seed future crop of Bison. We check back in and update the progress of offensive lineman Dylan Radens. This kid has had a great redshirt year, and with 3 senior starters departing the program, get used to his name, in fact, as early as September 2nd next season.
I came in at 265, and that is definitely no playing weight for an offensive lineman, so I obviously knew I should redshirt and I should gain the weight, and I'm glad I did. Gives you a year, one more year of experience, gives you a year to build, grow, and now feeling that I'm growing, I've gained 20 pounds, I'm getting there, I'm going to get there probably, hopefully by next year. I'm excited for spring ball to come.
These guys always talk about putting on weight. That's Jim Kramer and the work that he does, and it's good weight, and he could be a force.
Dylan will definitely be a force, and he's a guy that we're counting on next year. He's an athletic body, almost like a tight end playing offensive tackle, and at 285 pounds, and he'll be closer to 295 probably by next fall. He's a young man that could very well be a 4-year starter here.
Yep. Well, we'll wrap up the season after this short timeout. Stay with us. Well, Coach, the next opponent, Mississippi Valley. How about that? Already looking to next year. But again, congratulations on the season. You guys did a great job.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for all you do, and thanks for the fans. They were fabulous this year.
All right, we'll see you next year, folks.